With an update on a WWE star's contract and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Giving a reason as to why Von Wagner has not been seen on NXT television, Dave Meltzer noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter he's just not been used, but there was no injury or anything like that, and he wrestled prior to the NXT show this past week and was back on the show shooting the beginning of an angle with Noam Dar, seemingly replacing Josh Briggs in an angle they had been pushing for weeks. In an unseen WWE vignette, Pete Dunne can be seen getting his name back with Tyler Bate.
Look at how far we've come, man. All the way from Fight Club in Wolverhampton to SmackDown. Can you believe it? But seriously, thanks again for reaching out instead of going through all this on your own, you know.
Tyler, don't get carried away, mate. I called you because I know you're down for a fight and you're down for a scrap anytime. We beat Pretty Deadly, but that's in the past. The Brawling Brutes, they're in the past. Enough of this identity crisis bollocks. It's time to focus on myself and you focus on you. One and done, I told ya. That's it.
But it's more than that though, isn't it? You remember when we first came to the WWE? Handpicked by Mr. Regal himself. We led a renaissance in British wrestling. We tore the house down from Blackpool to London, Manchester, Wolverhampton, Glasgow, all over Europe, all the way to Chicago. You remember that? Now, we have big expectations, and the only way we're going to live up to those expectations is if we are both living our truth. Now, me, I know who I am. I am Tyler Bate, the big strong boy, first and only NXT UK Triple Crown champion. Dashing good looks. Muscles on muscles. The guru of unbelievable techers. But who are you? Butch. You are so much more than that, and you know it.
You're right. The Brawling Brutes are finished.
Yes.
So this nickname, Butch, that's got to go.
Yes.
We're British strong style.
British strong style.
I'm the Bruiserweight.
The Bruiserweight.
My name is Pete Dunne.
Yes!
And this is our time.
Our time, and we're going to show SmackDown and the WWE Universe exactly what we are made of.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this. No more Butch. You are Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight.
After her release from WWE, Emma, along with her husband Riddick Moss, have been uploading videos to YouTube talking about her future in pro wrestling. She said this on Captain's Corner. Lots of, like you said, exciting times now because anything is possible. So one thing I will say is I miss wrestling. So I will be thinking on what the next steps are for that and where you might see me next. Recalling his call-up from NXT to the WWE main roster, Riddick Moss said this during a virtual signing with Captain's Corner. The first time I got called up, it was like very little direction. It kind of happened to where, long story short, I kind of just got called up because you didn't have anything for me in NXT. When I went up, that first day I had no idea what I was doing. They were like, you're going to be with Mojo. Then I was his bodyguard. And then 2 weeks later, I turned on him, and then we did this really fun shoot in a toy factory, Funko Toy Factory, and I had basically no direction for what my character was. So I kind of just decided to be an arrogant 24/7 champion and kind of just started saying some of the stuff I would say in promo class as Riddick Moss. It was really fun, and I felt like I was building some momentum. Then COVID hit, and that kind of put a stop to everything for a while. Then I came back as Raw Underground Riddick Moss, which was also super fun. Totally different than what I was doing before. Then right as that was kind of taking off, I tore my ACL. Then when I came back later, the next time, that was where I I did a lot of direction, where that was Madcap Moss. That was a lot of direction, but I still had to make it my own. But you can't imagine how fun that was for me. I could do whatever I wanted because it was just so goofy. Once again, speaking about his return to action in WWE and the health issues he had suffered from, R-Truth told Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, the part of the injury that I would say was questionable was I got infected and there was a hole in my knee. Oh yeah, I had a hole in my knee. See, people thought I just tore my quad tendon. It was an infection. I went like really 3 months without even bending my knee because they had to get the infection under control. So mentally and emotionally, once I got past that stage, I was pretty much ready for the rehab. The rehabilitation was like a cakewalk. I was ready for that. When you're hungry and you're thirsty and you want it, you just go get it. Yes, oh yeah, concerns out the yin yang. Because you got to think I had 5 different infections in my knee along with MRSA, staph, their cousins and brothers and sisters too. Yeah, you're thinking that. I thought all those thoughts. I felt all those emotions. That's where it comes from. I always tell people you have to be your own cheerleader sometimes. Sometimes you gotta push yourself. You gotta shake your own pom-poms sometimes. I don't even know if that was PG, but sometimes you gotta mentally discipline yourself or mentally stay real, true to yourself. Because sometimes motivation don't be there. Life can send stuff your way where motivation ain't there. Discipline and just having that faith and knowing, man, now you see me now. Going over a free agent that was spotted backstage in TNA, Fightful Select reported former AEW talent Shawn Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, was also at this past weekend's tapings. Spears is from the area and was seen backstage. However, we're told that several saw him with Scott D'Amore for about 20 minutes at gorilla position as well. TNA has a big roster turnover in the last couple of months as Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, and Sami Callihan have left TNA/Impact since the start of October, and they've added Nick Nemeth and Ash by Elegance. As Cody Rhodes was revealed to be the cover star of WWE 2K24, he said this regarding his plan to finish the story and defeat Roman Reigns to win the world title, telling Sports Illustrated, "If I haven't finished the story by WWE 2K25, don't bring me back for the commercial. Don't put me on the cover. Don't put me anywhere near it. I won't deserve it. But it's fun that this is happening in real time and we all get to experience it together." For that same interview, Cody Rhodes said this about AEW star Ricky Starks making the move to WWE in the future. "My buddy Ricky Starks, I know he's under contract, so that's not happening, but it'd be cool to see." Asked about The Rock, who many are speculating could be taking the spot of Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 to take on Roman Reigns, the American Nightmare replied, saying this to Mark Raimondi of ESPN, "I don't consider him in my way. Maybe he is, and I'm being naive to it. Maybe he wants to get in. I don't know, but I don't consider him in my way. Again, The Rock is one of the main reasons we're here today. Nothing but respect. But also, at the same time, I have to have the respect for myself to know where I'd like to go." Talking about Kazuchika Okada leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling and if he will end up signing with AEW or WWE, Jim Cornette said this on his drive-through podcast. "Tony Khan will take him no matter what. WWE would have to have some idea of how they would fit him into their system, and if they did make any kind of legitimate offer, they'd have to figure out a way for it to be at the top of the card. Okada, to me, his strengths might play more to AEW, where he'd make more money, probably because of Tony." For an update on a lawsuit against WWE, Ringside News wrote that the court hearing for Marvin Jackson's appeal in his lawsuit against WWE stemming from alleged injury sustained during his attendance at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas has been canceled. According to PW Insider, both Jackson and WWE have been notified that the court will make a ruling on his appeal without the need for a formal hearing. Unfortunately, there is currently no set timetable for when this ruling will be issued. Jackson initiated his legal action against WWE on January January 12, 2023, by filing a lawsuit in the District Court of Tarrant County, Texas. His claim revolved around the loss of hearing in his left ear, which he attributed to a pyrotechnics explosion that occurred as a part of the WWE production during WrestleMania 38. In his lawsuit, Jackson sought a jury trial and pursued monetary relief exceeding $1 million, encompassing various forms of damages, penalties, costs, expenses, prejudgment interest, and attorney's fees. The initial court proceedings resulted in the dismissal of Jackson's lawsuit with prejudice, indicating that he was prohibited from reviving the same lawsuit within the same court. Undeterred, Jackson took the step of filing an appeal with the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit. When it comes to the WWE contract situation of Drew McIntyre, Mike Johnson of PW Insider Elite reported Drew McIntyre still hasn't signed a new contract with WWE. If a new deal isn't reached, McIntyre would be free and clear to sign anywhere right after WrestleMania 40. Ringside News added, "It's worth noting that Drew McIntyre's contract, initially set to expire in April 2024, could extend due to his absence. Nevertheless, McIntyre's contractual status with WWE continues to be a topic of discussion." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.